After releasing a report detailing China's organ harvesting of Falun Gong practitioners, David Kilgour and David Matas visit Austria. They're on a tour to visit 20 countries to raise awareness of the inhumane practice.
David Kilgour and David Matas plan to release 10 additional lines of evidence before Christmas to further substantiate the allegations of organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners in China. Quoting a Chinese military surgeon who had 8 Chinese citizens killed to supply a single foreign patient with a new kidney, Mr. Kilgour said
that the organ, the 8th organ that worked, came from the executed prisoner, also that the organ was secretly harvested from the unwilling executed prisoner. Well, I think you probably all know that the doctors and the officials all tell you that the organs come from executed prisoners. What they don't tell you is that some of the executed prisoners, a lot of them, are Falun Gong practitioners who never go to a court, are never convicted of anything, are simply medically examined every 3 months in their work centers or detention centers, and then when their unlucky day comes, when somebody like this fellow arrives and they happen to match, that's the day that they die.
Asked whether the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture is also involved in this issue, Mr. Kilgour emphasized the lack of a legitimate response from the Chinese government.
Mr. Novak has put, it's either 17 or 19 questions about Falun Gong organ harvesting to the government of China, and he's still waiting for an answer, at least as of 2 or 3 weeks ago. As of then, he had not received any answers. I think there are no answers that the government of China is prepared to give, other than to deny that it's happening. And as I don't know whether if you type in the government of China denies on Google, I did it this morning, and I think I mentioned I got 4 million entries. So the government of China specializes in denials.
Confronted by people mentioning other unethical transplantation practices in other countries, for example, that some people from poor countries have sold their organs.
Well, yeah. The difference is that you can live with one kidney, as you know, but to our horror, what we've discussed, they lose both kidneys, their liver, their heart, their kidney, everything, and then their bodies are burned. So I think it's important to distinguish between the kinds of things that might be happening in other countries, and I'm sure is happening in other countries, and this terrible crime against humanity that's happening in China.
As Mr. Kilgour describes China as a country with a particularly violent totalitarian system of governance, coupled with a kind of capitalism that is completely heartless, how can the rest of the world deal with this horrendous issue?
What I think they will do is, I think, the more people who raise the issue with them, the more people who go up to Chinese diplomats and say, what's this you're doing in your country? How can we go to the Olympic Games in 2008 put on by a government that kills its own people in order to sell their organs and murder them? I think my sense is we're quite close to the tipping point when they're going to say they're going to stop doing it. And I just hope they never start it up after the Olympic Games.
Milen Wirt Fernandez reporting for NTD TV in Vienna, Austria.